this scene actually, this is the beavers here, another good example of like, you know, why you have to have coroutines in games, because you know, at least in adventure games, you have to have like a script that just says, how's this beaver going to behave? You know, what's he going to do? And at the time that people were making games, you know, the scripting languages weren't popular yet. You had a lot of games in C, and somebody would have been trying to write in their game engine, in their game loop, and go run the beavers now. And in a scene like this, you had to be able to take that and say, this is how a beaver behaves. Right now, I'm thinking like a beaver. How would a beaver? He's going to crawl over here, and he's going to chew on these things, and then he'll get tired, and then he'll jump over here. The same thing with the pigeons and anything else. And that, again, it's like I didn't have to think about the fact that they were needed. They were obviously needed. I mean, that's one of the things that Scum had made very obvious. Like, you cannot make adventure games without coroutines. They didn't even call them coroutines, though. I mean, we didn't even know what to call them for a long time until, I mean,
threads.
They were just threads, yeah. And actually, well, that was one of the early experiments. I actually tried to use actual Windows threads, because this is a Windows game. It wasn't a DOS game. This is a Windows game. We can use actual threads. And I initially did try and actually have different Lua threads, and it was just so heavyweight. Machines are so tight, and it was so much overhead, and it was so complex. And it was like, no, we need something lightweight. It needs to be really focused on what the game does.
Think like a beaver. Be the beaver. Be the flaming beaver of hell. But now we're faced with two problems. These beavers are not going to let us pass, and there's a huge metal door in our way, and we have to pass with our awesome car. So let's get rid of the beavers. They seem to really like the tar lake for some reason. So let's see if we can get rid of them that way. Man, there's a lot of dead people around.
We were like, what is the flame source for the beavers? And they're like, well, they have a core. They have a nuclear core, so they're thermonuclear flaming bone beavers.
Yeah, you know, I have to say, flaming bone beavers. I mean,
you would think that would be
what does that remind you
controversial.
of? Yeah,
A band name?
maybe. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Like thermonuclear bone beavers. That's an awesome band name right there, man. But the beavers are gonna come up to this ledge, and I am going to extinguish their fire. Hopefully. It's kind of tricky. A little bit tricky. Oh, actually, I need to pick up something else. I need to tempt them with something. And I'm gonna use dead people. That's a lot of dead people, isn't it? Let's hope the beaver will let me pick up the dead people. Don't mind me, Mr. Beaver. Or Mrs. Beaver. No, don't use that there. Manny. Manny, you're... No, I know. I don't... Okay. I've never done this before. Use it on the beaver, then. If you really want to. Manny, stop using that thing, please.
I still remember writing a big justification about tank controls when I was pitching this. People were like, let's make it so the controls are more like Mario, where you push it. No. Point and click. I was thinking tank controls I thought were superior to point and click at the time, because when you're pointing and clicking, you're distant from the screen, and the screen is this other thing that you're interacting with at your fingertips.
Right.
But when you're doing tank controls, you feel like you are in the center of the character.
Right.
And the world is rotating. The world's rotating around you. And so when you think, instead of going, I want to go on the left of the screen or I want to go to the right of the screen, you're saying, I want to look at the thing to the left of me and the thing to the right of me. And now, I don't know if that was necessarily the right decision, but it's a good piece of evidence that you can sometimes make a really good argument for the wrong decision. And that's something to watch out for in life. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a really compelling and, in fact, win an argument.
Oh, yeah.
And be totally wrong.
Winning an argument has nothing to do with being right, that's for sure.
Exactly. It's just being able to make a good case.
Thank you, Glottis, for being in the background of that commentary.
That's not on fire.
I don't want it to be on fire, for fuck's sake. Just get rid of it. Now, I just want to pick up a bone. Okay, man? Okay? I could always use a spare. Now, I want you to put it in your coat, and I want you to look at the dead people.
These monsters have made a dam out of human bones.
Yeah, it looks pretty well made. Thanks, beavers. You're the greatest. Otherwise, it would be a big gaping chasm. You gotta look at the bright side, people. Actually, maybe I should get more bones. Yeah, I definitely need more bones because there's like 3 beavers. I'm just thinking, like, these people are all dead, but they're being useful. Like, really, really useful in their second-degree deathness. Alright, gotta tempt the beavers. Tempt that flaming hot beaver. Select it and throw it in the tar lake.
No place for a bone there.
Oh, I think it is. Alright, and now quickly, select the fire extinguisher. We have to be quick about this. How do I did this again? Nope, missed it. Damn it. How did I do this again? Is it over? Stupid beavers. Stop. Manny. It's over. I think. That should be all the beavers. Yep. Now we just have to figure out how to get our really large car through. Now we have to go to another area that we were in before. Because that will give us a key to finding out how to get our car through this huge gate. How do I get out of it? Oh, I don't remember how this puzzle went. Where am I? Yeah, okay, that's not gonna work.
Wait a second.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. There's something I missed here.
This signpost seems to be pointing the way to Rubacava.
Ah, yes, but it's gonna point to something else as well. At the time when I first played this... Glottis. Shut up for a second, please, will ya? The first time I played this, I had no idea you could pick up the sign, so I was stuck here for hours trying to figure this out. But you actually have to place this somewhere very specific. And I don't know how you figure this out. How do I place it? Is that right? What it's basically telling you is that you have to move the sign until it points to the ground. So that's not the spot. Maybe this is the spot. Aha! Loteria. Wonderful. Now I just need to get Glottis in on this. Glottis, look what I found.
Manny, I'm scared of that sign.
You don't seem that scared of that sign. What does it say?
It looks like some sort of warning sign. They'll tear you apart bone by bone and build with you a human throne. Their buck-toothed king will sit upon what once was you, but now is gone. This key unlocks the gates of hell. Steady traveler, use it well.
I think this is referring to the beaver puzzle, which, in retrospect, you probably should do this puzzle first, and then the beaver puzzle. But whatever, you know?
This is like a callback to those brave young men and their jaunty jalopies. You ever seen that movie? Those outrageous young men and their flying machines.
No, that I remember.
There are these two crazy movies from the 60s which were all about, it was kind of like the Wacky Races, but a real-life version.
Magnificent.
Yeah.
Flying machines.
And it was like one of those movies, it was kind of like a Wild, Wild, Wild World or whatever. Like
It's a Mad
World, where all these people are chasing some crazy prize, but the cars in it always had things like that. I think that is a direct lift. Like one of the cars would have these hydraulic shocks that lifted up, or just crazy extending things.
Right.
Crazy extendy things. Give me that key.
Can't pass up an old creepy key.
Never. If you find a creepy key, or any kind of key, you bet your ass it's gonna be useful. Now, Gladys, we can get out of here. And you can stop being afraid of the sign. Buddy.
Okay, the beasts of Black River are blowing bubbles at the bottom. So let's power on through, huh, Glot?
Manny, look at that badass gate. I can't drive through that. We have to find the key.
Híjole.
Híjole. Well, I'm sure you could probably, like, scale this gate easily if your mind was put to it. Stop being so loud! Ooh.
It's the key to the gates of hell, I seem to recall.
Oh, it's just the keys to the gates of hell. It's no problem. But we can use it here.
This outer gate is huge. I'll need Glottis to open it.
Manny, I don't know if I like driving over people.
They can't feel it, they're dead.
You're dead. I wouldn't want to drive over you.
That's because you and I, Glottis, are friends.
Aw, Manny.
Aw, Manny.
Hello? Miss Colomar! We're here to save you!
Hey, lay off the racket, the whole town's asleep.
But I want a drag race! When they get a load of my car, we're gonna be the talk of the town!
You're right. We're gonna have to find a good place to hide that road show. Speaking of hiding, I wonder if Mitch is here already. I'm gonna go see what I can stir up. Not a bad piece of real estate, actually. It's got potential.
Oh, Glottis. You seem to be having fun. Lovely. So when we're Rubukava already. And I don't know why he would say that Meche is already here. I mean, if she was to be here, she would be traveling on foot and not by awesome car. Awesome death car. I wonder if she's in this fog.
Ooh.
Yeah, tourists. You gotta watch your step around here, stranger. Rubicava ain't the quaint little port town she used to be. Well, hell, looks like there's a new vessel in town. Pardon me whilst I go check her out.
I like you, Mr. Captain, sir. Come on, shake it off, Manny. Shake it off. Just shake it off. I would very much like to talk to this,
Well, actually, it's
briny
mostly
captain.
stocked with a few mods here.
I really wanted to have this moment of Lasco bonding with Gladys, not like through the magic of cars and talking about engines and stuff. And cars bring people together, talking about engines.
Well,
Because I never had sports.
internal combustion.
I never liked sports. I was not into the manly unifier of sports. But the
Me neither.
but cars you can talk about with the toughest of dudes.
That's true. That's
like-
true.
There was this one high-pitched whine it was making, really grating noise, you know? And I searched and searched, but I couldn't find the source of the noise until we pulled in here. Was it the blower? No, it was Manny screaming in the back like a cat tied to a cruise missile. That's a good one.
Hola.
Hey,
Hola.
Manny, Dockmaster Velasco here says he's got a place we can dry dock the bone wagon for a while.
Oh, yeah. We can't leave a beauty like this out in the fog, or her chrome will get pitted.
Pitted? Did you hear that, Manny?
You folks gonna stay in Rubicava for a spell?
We're here looking for a woman named Mercedes. Colomar might be here for a while. How do you get around here with all the mist?
How do you get around here with all the mist?
When you've strolled these docks as long as I have, Pilgrim, you know where you are by the smell of the sea, by the sound of the lonely foghorn, by the icy touch of the cold, salty air.
Wow. Manny, could I have an eye patch?
Of course you can, Gladys. I think it would make you look badass.
Can I just ask, what is under the eye patch? Because I know it's not an eye.
Oh, well, when I was alive, I had an eye patch like this. This one's just for the phantom pain. And that one eye socket used to scream like a banshee when the trade winds blew, so I plugged her.
Fair enough, dude.
I might be here a while. Is there any work in this town?
Oh, there's lots of work down at the docks, but it's all union work. And I just don't see you in that union.
Why not? Never mind.
We're here looking for a woman named Mercedes Colomar.
I'm not too good with names. Did she have any distinguishing marks or a tattoo?
Not that she showed me.
Well, like I said, I'm as good with names as you are with the fog.
Hey, Manny, we were in the middle of a conversation here.
Hey, okay.
Hey, okay, I'll let you bond over engines and stuff. I'll just go check out the big old cactus bar upstairs. Looks pretty cool. Not a bad piece of real estate if I say so. It's gonna be mine. What's up, dude? Anything to explore in here? Doesn't seem so.
This guy looks familiar.
Yeah, he does.
The character Celso is played by a really funny actor called Peter Lorre, and when he came into the studio on the first day, he had this real look of apprehension about him, and it turned out the word in Hollywood was that Grim Fandango was code name for Star Wars Episode 1 casting. So when he was coming in for the project, people were telling him, "You're going to be going in, and George Lucas is going to be there, and they're going to be flying you up to the ranch," and he was terribly disappointed when he walked in, and the only person in the studio was me.
Aw, he was expecting to be cast in Star Wars. That's adorable. Well, to be fair, it's just as big as an honor to be cast in this game.
Mr. Flores, I'm ready to take you now. Manny Calavera, is that you? Didn't you used to be taller?
It was a costume dude. I had to play the part, but this was our first sort of reaping guy that we saw in the game, and we only got him a walking stick.
I'm here to reclaim that walking stick. I broke it over the head of some hideous monsters in the forest.
You didn't do a very good job, man. You didn't kill one of them, and it was made of wood. It probably just fueled their fire.
I'm looking for a woman named Mercedes Colomar. Well, no one's come through town by that name, and you can take it from me. I, too, am looking for someone, so I watch the comings and goings around here very carefully. Who are you looking for? Well, if you must know, it's about my wife. I got word that she passed away not long after I, and that she too was crossing the land of the dead on foot. It is said that all lost souls come to Rubacava, so I came here to wait for her.
I wonder what your wife did to have to traverse the land of the dead on foot.
You must love her very much, Celso. Yes, this is true. Of course, she also has all of my money.
Ah. Okay. How does money work? I mean, is it the 2 coins that are placed on your eyes when you die? Or do you get your bank account details transferred to you in the land of the dead?
How do you know your wife hasn't gone ahead of you? Oh, Manny. If she had arrived here first, surely she would have waited for me.
Alright. Well, she's probably just not here yet. Be patient.
I'll help you find your wife. What did she look like? Oh, here. I got this from the DOD and made copies to hand out. Isn't she something? She must have been beautiful with skin. Weren't we all?
Weren't we all? I think everyone looks pretty sharp with just their bare bones.
So, know a good place to stay in town? What's your price range? Somewhere around the high end of nothing. Then maybe, young man, it's time you started thinking about a job. Can you give me a job here? Have any skills? Sales? Well, that does qualify you for a certain position, but we only have one mop. I'm sorry, Manuel. I've got to get this place ready to open. Right. I'll let you know if I see your wife. She'll be the one asking for her beloved Celso.
Alright. Can I take a look at your wife? Where is she? Yep. We were all beautiful with our skin. But I know the exact person I need to ask about people coming into Rubacava. And that is the salty sea dog that is chatting away with Glottis. Because he sees just about everyone in here, and I don't know why he hasn't passed on. You know, to the 9th Underworld or world or whatever. What was his name? Captain Salty Sea Dog? Probably. That must be it.
Ever seen this woman?
Oh, if this is the woman you're looking for, take my advice. Forget about her. She sailed out of here weeks ago in a cozy portside cabin built for two, and she wasn't alone.
How do you know she sailed out of here? I don't believe it.
It's a tough break, Junior, but you gotta face it. Here, look it up in my port log if you want it in writing. 6 weeks ago on a Tuesday. Ticket for two, paid in full. I cracked the champagne on the bow myself.
Hey, Manny, we want...
Hey.
Look, I know how you feel, son. Once I lost a very special lady myself. I waved to her from the docks as she sailed out of port, and I never saw her again.
What was her name?
The SS La Mancha was her name, but don't make me talk about her, 'cause I just can't do it.
It was a boat. He's talking about his love for a boat. And now that I can't hear what they're talking about anymore. But Celso, I got some bad news for you, buddy. Your wife did sail out of here 2 weeks ago with someone else. Sorry to say, but it happened. He's not gonna be happy.
Celso, your wife sailed out of here 2 months ago with another man. It's all in there.
Oh, Manny, is there a greater constant in nature than the treachery of women?
Forget about her, Celso.
Have you forgotten yours? I'm going after her. You take over my job here. This mop at least will never let you down. That compass in the handle will sure come in handy too.
Hey, boss. You gonna come downstairs? I got a customer asking for you.
You know I don't like to mingle with the customers.
Well, you may want to mingle with this one. She sounds like your type.
Well, looks like a quiet night in old Rubacava.
And it's already been a year. I was so shocked when I first played this. I've never experienced a game to forward me a year in the game, and it's always interesting to see how Manny has evolved. I mean, he already owns the place, obviously. I mean, he's the owner of Calavera Club now. And we're basically in a sort of Las Vegas sort of town. It's not a quiet port town anymore, I'll tell you that. But the first time I played this when I was little, I borrowed the game from someone, and I distinctly remember this Rubacava scene at the start was on the second CD, and that second CD was damaged, so I could never run it. As hard as I tried to overcome the CD damage, it always got buggy on this scene, and I could never advance. Oh, sad times. Oh, and I missed a commentary. Go back.
And just the amount of research that went into all of this, because I just remember Tim going to every film noir movie ever, and we would just, all the time, there would be something to do, and he's like, want to go to the movies? And it was just, I mean, you can see it, the dark shadows, and then the music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything is just so film noir and really pulls you in.
Yeah, I remember us all going to see Casablanca. And I think it was in the Castro Theater or something. It was one of those old San Francisco theaters. I forget which one it was, but it was the whole gang of us went. And
yeah, remember? Did you guys go to the Golden Gate Fields for the horse races? I know they weren't.
I wish.
That was part of it, because I think there were some scenes around that, and that was just fun. I mean, just the research trips.
Yeah,
those were fun.
The Leslie person that's commenting kind of reminds me of a voice in the game. I'm not sure if she actually voiced any of the characters, but she sounds very familiar. So now Manny owns the place, and it looks snazzy as fuck. And there's another commentary, go back.
So Tim created a character, which I very much appreciate. I love her. Her name is Lupe, and she happens to be a little bit based on me and my idiosyncrasies. And so when I remember one time we were hanging out, and he told me, he's like, see, how can you tell me that I don't understand our relationship? Like, I can write about it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, see, she's super organized. Nobody listens to her, but she has a lot of really important things to say. And see, we need her, and that's what you realize.
That's awesome.
So I was like, oh, I love you. And she does karate kicks. That was the best, like, because I like to punch people. And so if you notice, sometimes, I don't know if they have it in here, but she punches in the air. She does air punches.
That's awesome.
She was really easy to cast because I had such a great frame of reference for her.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Oh, I am channeling Lupe so much. Like, super organized, manic about many things, punching the air and stuff. Oh, that's totally me.
When we leave the diner for the last time, there's a sort of a moment with the, just kind of a technical and sort of dramatic moment with the music where the music on the radio is playing, and there's going to be a little bit of a cut, and then you go to this cutscene music, which takes it's supposed to be sort of a seamless break from the game music to the cutscene music, and then the music kind of comes out of the radio, and doesn't sound like it's on a radio anymore. It's the music of people's, dreams and wishes.
I'm gonna say it again. The music in this game is fantastic. It really pulls you in. But we have something on our desk.
My wartime communications from Salvador. He's been sending me messages like this for the last year.
Agent Calavera, I have word that you arrived in Rubalcaba safely. This is great news, as your service to the LSA may now continue. I am pleased to report the successful hatching of the eggs you liberated. The hatchlings, which Eva has named Manny and Meche, are quite healthy and eager to serve our cause. With luck, my next letter will be borne to you across the sky by these young gossamer wings of truth. For the revolution, Salvador Limones.
I'm not done reading it yet, but maybe later.
Maybe later.
To sleep. Perchance to have nightmares about spiders and beavers.
I don't know what you're talking about, Manny.
Can't. What if Mecha makes her big arrival and I sleep through it?
I think everyone will let you know. You've been going on about it for a year at least.
Lady Luck.
So, as you can tell, we operate a casino.
Le 19. Rouge. Entre repas. 19. Red.
So this is one of the parts in the game that was very inspired by Gilda. You ever seen Gilda? I think Rita Hayworth.
No.
It's a great
like
noir movie.
It
It's amazing, and it's the scene that you always see when they show Rita Hayworth, where she just flips her hair up and says, "Who, me?" Never seen that thing? So anyway, it's about it's set in a resort town where there's a casino, and the main character, there is the main character is working at a casino, and there is this kind of corrupt local law enforcement officer who shows up every night. And the way he gets paid off by the casino to not bust it is that he always comes and bets on number 2 at a certain table, and then they always give him his money, and number 2 always wins and stuff. And so that, I think it's the same number in this game. We always use number 2.
Yeah, it's the same. We run a casino, and, to get the police off our back for running, kind of a crooked business, we let a police officer play at the casino whenever he wants, and he always wins. That's why we have that little thing in our desk, just to push the odds in his favor. Oh, I love Lupe. This is Lupe, the girl that announced stuff before.
I wish you would slide down the banister, because we put a lot of effort into sliding down that banister. Come on, slide down the banister. I recommend any player who's in this room slide down the banister. It's much faster than walking.
Especially if you're 6 and you don't have terrible consequences when you hit the bottom.
You should not try that at home. Actually, kids, you should. You should go slide down the banister of your house right now.
Everybody's got to do it once.
If I had a banister in my house, you bet your sweet genius ass, Tim, that I would slide the fuck out of that banister. But I don't. And, of course, I would do it in the game as well. Come on.
Hello, Manny.
Hola.
Hola. Don't worry. If you're if you know what you're doing, you won't end up breaking your neck, I'm sure. But hey, Gladys, you seem to be doing fine. Mighty fine.
Quiet night, huh, carnal?
Day of the Dead ain't good for business, Chief. But last night, remember last night, Manny? Oh, wait!
What's that you're playing?
Oh, this is just a little, you know, love song for a special lady.
Sing a little bit of that song, why don't you?
Well, I only have this part.
It's wonderful, Gladys. Bone wagon.
I like it.
I think it's great. It's gonna be the next hit. Please finish it.
You think she'll come in tonight?
Who, my special lady?
No, Meche.
You know what, Manny? I think she will. I got a feeling tonight's the night.
You know, when we leave, I'm actually gonna miss this place.
Aw, Manny, why can't we just stay here? We got our fancy club, we got 3 squares a day. Max lets me take the bone wagon out on his kitty track once a week. Plus, we look good in these clothes.
Gladys, I can't live in this world forever. It's not where I belong. I've got to find Meche and help her. Because if it weren't for me, she'd have been on that train a year ago.
Okay, Manny.
Well, I'll let you get back to practicing.
I don't need to practice, man. I'm good.
I'm good. You practice, man. You're actually really, really good. But yeah, for some people, this is kind of the end of the road. They don't need to go to the ninth underworld, especially since they know that they've had a horrible life. Well, they were crooks or whatever, and they're gonna go to hell anyway, so why not stay in limbo?
Ah, Marillo de Oro. A very fine liqueur filled with solid gold flakes. Nothing but the best for my customers. My rich customers.
My very rich customers. And me.
Yes, I better take this with me. For safekeeping.
I remember animating Manny sliding down the banister. And I remember Tim kept calling for something. He's got to look cool. And so I did that, and I don't think he was ever really happy with it. So I don't know. Apparently don't know what cool means.
You gotta put some Ray-Bans on him.
Yeah. I mean, Manny's a suave guy, but I don't know if suave guys slide down banisters. Maybe I should have done it slower.
Oh yeah, slow motion sliding down a banister. That sounds just amazing. Manny, put that in your jacket, please. And man, they look super suave in those dinner jackets. To be fair, I like to dress like that all the time. I love wearing suits. I think they just make you look so elegant and so respected.
So these is like scenes are from the production of the game in a way where Leslie would come to me like, look what I made. I made a chart of every single scene in the game plus every single actor, and I coded it. Yellow means Manny's in it, and blue means this prop is in it. And she's so excited about these things that she did, and this character is doing the exact thing.
Yep.
You have to take things from your life and put them in your work, you know, even though they don't read anything to anybody else. Otherwise,
well, that just means work will be about life rather than life being about work, right?
Exactly. What do you mean it was kind of useless information that no one would get? I think being organized and having Manny as the blue thing and the yellow thing and the prop, it's the most important thing ever, man. You don't understand.
Evening, Lupe.
Hi, Manny. I have to tell you about my new organizational system for the coats.
Please, tell me. How? I don't have the option for you to tell me.
Think she'll come in tonight?
Manny, you ask me that every night. What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say, yes, I think tonight's the night.
You're supposed to say, yes, I think tonight's the night.
Yes, I think tonight's the night. That you finally go nuts from waiting for the grand entrance of Ms. Mercedes Colomar.
Let's try that again, shall we? Think she'll come in tonight?
Yes, I think tonight's definitely the night.
Thank you. It's my fault she's out in the woods alone, you know.
If you say so, Manny.
It is my fault. And it's also her fault that she couldn't wait for 15 minutes. Although, to be fair, if she had waited, then Domino would have gotten to her, and then maybe she would have been in a worse situation. Yeah, so we kind of saved her life. Even though she's dead.
Bogan coming yet?
Yeah, he's down at the casino, probably enjoying his usual lucky streak.
How's the flow tonight?
We're dead tonight, Manny. Everybody's back home for the Day of the Dead, I guess. Except for the casino. The casino's hopping. Why is it that all the people who don't go home are the same people who just love to gamble?
Well, I guess when you've got nothing to go home to, you've got nothing to lose.
Hey, we should put that over the door.
I think that all casinos should put that over the door. When you have nothing to go home to, you have nothing to lose.
Everything okay back in the land of fur and fedoras?
Everything's in order. It's beautiful. I can't wait for people to come in and try the new system. It's so cool. Want to hear about it?
Yes.
Okay, tell me all the details about your new code check system.
Yay! Okay, I found all these plastic tiles in the back, left over from the automat, and guess what? They all have numbers on them.
No way.
What I'm doing is, I give one to everyone who checks a code in and...
Yeah.
Manny! You're not even listening to me. I go to all this work organizing your coats, and you don't even care.
Lupe.
Forget it. Don't pretend to care.
No, I want to hear.
Hup. Oh, I'll tell someone else about it. Someone who cares.
Someone who deserves this kind of revolutionary informational organizational system.
Please, tell me all about your new code check system, really.
Don't patronize me, Cal.
Okay, back to work.
Okay.
Lupe, you're my homegirl. I get you fully. You're the best. And on that note, I'll see you in the next episode, folks.